Little Germany is a complete loss at this point. The road to Little Germany is completely washed away.
We shouldn't have worked. We shouldn't have been there. None of us should have been there.
Are you doing okay?
Yeah. It's gonna take a long time.
This week, News 5 has been revisiting communities hit hard by Helene, 6 months since that devastating event. News 5's Liam Bridgeman went to Smyth and Washington Counties in Virginia. Here's what he found in the town of Damascus.
It's been an uphill climb for the town of Damascus over these past 6 months. The town lost homes, businesses, and its crown jewel, the Virginia Creeper Trail. But the town and its people are resilient.
And then all of a sudden, our house is lifting up and shifting. The walls are cracking.
Stories of survival could be heard throughout the town of Damascus the days following the historic flooding. The town, lucky to have everyone survive the ordeal, has done more than just survive since. What has this recovery process been like for Damascus?
Well, like I've said before, my people are resilient. I'm just so proud of them.
Mayor Katie Lamb has supported survivors since the storm hit, visiting them in some of their darkest times.
It's hard not to get emotional about it, because it's still really raw.
But it's the resilience that Lamb says has pushed the town through. Ralph Wilson and the Damascus Diner, the perfect example. I first met Ralph at the diner weeks after the flood.
It's sentimental also. That's something that we've worked so hard to do, and it just, in a moment, it's gone.
The diner, a staple of the town and region, was completely devastated on the inside. Now, 6 months later,
we got new floors, new paint. We're putting booths around the sides, tables in the middle. Hopefully in a couple weeks we'll be open and be able to service the community.
But that community is not thriving like it once was after losing 18 of the 34-mile Virginia Creeper Trail.
That brought in a lot of folks to this town.
For residents like Joe Johnson, losing the trail wasn't a time for mourning. Instead, it was a time for opportunity. With community support, residents have created several events to get tourists back to the friendliest town on the trail.
We love tourists. We love our visitors. You got a chance to meet people from different backgrounds, from people that are from all over the world. This place to me is just perfect.
The road to recovery is long, but for Mayor Lamb, lifting each other up in this time of need is the key to getting back.
There's plenty to do, but I'm, very confident that we're going to be better than we've ever been.
In Damascus, Liam Bridgeman, News 5, WCYB.
As Liam mentioned, the town of Damascus has a couple of events planned in the next few months aimed at bringing people back to the town. The first being Trout Days, not to be confused with Trail Days. The event will have 2 dates, one in April and another in September. Volunteers will stock the creeks in Damascus with trout, and the event is open to anglers of all ages. Registration is $100, and there are several prizes available. Another event coming to the town is a 2-day motorcycle adventure ride. It's called the Dam 200. It'll be a roughly 200-kilometer ride through the mountains of Virginia and Tennessee. Registration for that event begins on June 6th. All meals will be included in the $200 registration fee, along with the opportunity to camp over the weekend. All of the proceeds from these events will go towards supporting the town's long-term recovery efforts. You can find more information on these events on our homepage at WCYB.com. Here's a look back at one Taylor's Valley couple completely separated by the storm, both believing they'd lost each other.
It was a beautiful day. The sun was shining.
Linda and Carl McMurray sharing their story, with the major bruising on Carl's face the only outward sign of their trauma.
The power had blinked about 3 times, and my neighbor called and she said, do you think you're going to be okay?
83-year-old Linda was born in this house that sits along the Virginia Creeper Trail.
It started raining hard.
The nearby White Top Laurel Creek had never been a threat before. Then, as the winds picked up, trees and entire trestles from the Creeper Trail began crashing into the bridge, creating a dam.
It came so fast.
The creek diverted straight toward their home.
And it came up to the porch, and then it burst through the living room window.
Carl, in a move that most likely saved his life, grabbed life jackets, and the couple ran to the second floor.
At first, the whole house floated.
Yeah, it went like a bulldozer down through there, pushing outbuildings out of the way and stuff, and we got down through there about a couple of football field lengths, and it settled over on a little higher ground and stopped, and I thought, this is going to be good.
But the ordeal was just beginning. The house cracked apart. Carl fell out.
I remember digging up, and she was up top, and board hit me in the head. Next thing I was in the water, clawing around.
The water carrying Carl away. He smashed his head on a gator before finally grabbing onto a bush.
I yelled for 30 minutes at one time, at least.
Hours passed and hypothermia was starting to set in when he finally was able to flag down their neighbor, Emily. She made her way to where she could get out a call, but at least another hour passed before help arrived.
The Black Hawk helicopter came and she directed it down in there.
And I saw them. I didn't know it was him, but I saw the helicopter, and I thought they were looking for me.
Helicopters did look for Linda, but there was no sign. She would be stuck there for 16 hours.
Every time a log would hit the upper side, I thought it would take me on down. And all night I kept praying, repeating the Lord's Prayer and the 23rd Psalm.
A police officer showing up at their son Eric's home in Bristol.
He's like, you need to go to JMH Hospital now.
When Eric got to the hospital, his dad told him his mom didn't make it.
He looked at me and I looked at him and he said, I lost her. I couldn't hold on to her.
It was an emotional night, calling loved ones with the devastating news. Then the story changed. A friend had gotten word Linda was alive.
And a knock on the door at 2:30, and she walks in completely dry, a little bit of mud on her shoes, and they both hugged each other, broke down.
The couple now so very grateful for their rescuers and the love that surrounds them.
We're so blessed.
Are you okay with me sitting here? Yeah. Is this good?
Let me show you where what's left of the McMurray's house ended up. Right here on a ledge with quite the drop-off and water rushing all around. The first floor is completely gone. Neighbors eventually found Linda right here in her second floor sewing room. They were able to carry her out in a rocking chair. She managed to stay dry the entire night with a roof over her head and 3 walls surrounding her. Now, despite all that's happened, the McMurrays say they plan to rebuild on their property in Taylor's Valley, but they tell me it'll be on higher ground.
Now, 6 months since that tragic day, the McMurrays are getting set to move into their new home in Taylor's Valley. It's currently being built by the Mennonite Disaster Service and Storm Aid, both completely volunteer-based groups that work in areas hit hard by disasters. The McMurrays hope to be in their fully furnished home within the next month. Work to Highway 58 in Damascus. The road that follows the Virginia Creeper Trail is ahead of schedule. Virginia Department of Transportation crews are now working to remove old pavement on the road in preparation for new asphalt. The project began in late October, where crews found a battered road. This work is crucial for getting the Creeper Trail back up and running, as it will allow heavy equipment to get into the damaged areas. A timeline for rebuilding the trail has not yet been determined. Smyth County, Virginia, also seriously affected by Helene. Leaders there say there is still more work to be done in the area since the devastating flooding caused by Helene. Officials say groups from around the county have helped with long-term recovery. They say they've completed nearly 40 projects across the county.
This is not the end. We have a long road ahead of us still. We're still receiving applications, folks who somehow haven't heard about us and our ability to help yet, folks who didn't know the damage until recently. So we are here for the long term to help these people rebuild their homes and get back to life as normal.
If you would like to donate to the Smyth County Community Fund, you can visit our homepage at WCYB.com.